Okay, let's carry on. Okay, so the fourth tissue, the ectoderm. Well, it's not the fourth actually, it's the third one, excuse me. It's just that in psychosomatics it's the fourth one because we divide the mesoderm into groups. This refers to all territorial conflicts. What do I perceive as my territory? This is me in the first place. It is my territory. For a woman, it's her children and her man. And for a man, it's his company, business, and maybe his living place and his woman. Because it is designed that way by nature. Because the males of our species are territorial. We need our territory. We need to feel that we have our territory. Because our females, dare I say so, biologically carry children in our territory. That's why girls say, if he has no apartment, I won't marry him. Because it's not that the girl is materialistic, it's rather a generic code. She has to produce offspring. Yes, a girl is looking for safety for her offspring. Safety. So, can you really blame women for that she's looking for something? Yes, of course, she does the right thing. What else does she have to do? The offspring must be safe. Territorial conflicts include a lot of things. For example, a man was stolen away from a woman, and for her man is her territory. If a man is stolen away, a woman may react with a territorial conflict. But territorial conflicts also include different kinds of everyday situations. For example, students settled in a dorm and suddenly all of them start to have gastritis. Have you heard of this? When students have gastritis. No, it's not about the food, guys. Nutrition is only a secondary factor. If I eat rubbish food only, well, obviously I do it because I have some kind of a situation in my head, I cannot realize that I shouldn't eat fast food. But this is not the primary reason. The primary reason is a state of mind in which I eat unhealthy food. The stomach reacts to territorial conflicts with ulceration, and the tissue is ulcerated. Everything related to this tissue ulcerates in the active phase. What's happening? Let's transfer this function into nature. I'm on my territory, there is an enemy, and we're having a fight now. I have something in my stomach and it's difficult to fight with a full stomach. The body increases the acidity to digest everything to be able to engage in a battle without the heaviness in the stomach. And what happens with students when they start to share a room in one dorm? Yes, they're stressed out because of common territory. This guy is a complete moron, this one is smelly, and this one is a total freak and he talks in a strange way. A person starts to feel very stressed and the body is constantly preparing for a battle. They're bothering me and this is my territory, constantly. The ulceration of stomach lining begins. And due to conflict relapses, gastritis is diagnosed, which will turn into an ulcer later. It happens because of the constant conflict relapses. Another example. The enemy is on my territory and the battle is about to begin, but I have no strategy from my parents to react with my stomach. I have a strategy to react with lungs. The ulceration happens in the bronchi in order to increase the airflow in the lungs so that I can breathe during a battle. The ulceration occurs in the lungs. The enemy draws back, retreats, metaphorically speaking, and the body enters the healing phase. How does everything heal in our body? By swelling and inflammation. What happens to the bronchi? Well, the bronchi are swollen. We begin to feel suffocation. This is asthma or a cough. Who asked about coughing? Here you are. You always analyzed who you talked to or came in contact with before coughing.
I asked about the child. And for myself as well. I just have it for short periods. Nothing gets inflamed. It doesn't hurt. I just cough and that's it. It's just not clear what the cause is.
Well, this needs to be worked through. I can't tell it from here, no such thing is coming to my mind so that you'd say, wow, right, okay, cool. The cause could be lungs because the same endoderm processes take place there. And during the healing phase there are waste products as well. If the intensity is not so high, the body needs to get rid of them somehow. Another reason could be larynx. The inflammation occurs during a healing phase and waste products from bacteria remain in the body and it has to get rid of it. The body throws it out one way or the other. In general, there are 4 reasons for coughing. It's just that more often we find that bronchi cause it. Most often we find out that we come across with a husband or mother in the kitchen on a regular basis, and that's where arguments usually happen.
And in child's case, the root cause in parents
Well, theoretically, everything comes from parents, and if an older child has it, then he has just inherited this strategy. He met a lion for the first time. If he doesn't meet a lion, the strategy or the gene remains asleep.
It's just my child is constantly coughing. Moreover, this is not kind of cough that comes from inside, as if external, a dry cough. We are fighting with him.
More questions? You laughed. You answered and laughed. The body realized itself and laughed. Do you have any more questions? Well, keep fighting. You can intensify this war and see if the cough gets worse or not.
Should I talk with the child or look for a reason inside of me?
Listen, of course, with a child. Always look for a reason outside. Why should you search for it inside yourself?
He also has some kind of specific perception.
Of course, but who does he get this all from? All of these reactions, I mean. A predisposition to these reactions. If you fight with him, he fights back. Did he learn this himself or what? I mean, to fight against something. Did he hook it up from somewhere in space? Of course, from you or from his father. I can see that you're saying everything is fine here, the main thing is all that is fine with them. You better deal with yourself. I'm perfect anyway. I'm perfect too, I just can't see it right through you. So what else is related to territorial conflicts? Are there people with cystitis here? Women with cystitis, I would say.
Yes.
I myself constantly used to have urethritis, and this is the same as cystitis for women. What, no one else has cystitis?
I had it once, a long time ago. The thing is, after 4 years...
Now I think we're going to have the first case of non-psychosomatics, right?
No, this is pure psychosomatics. It's typical. The question is, this cystitis is not due to inflammatory process of the bladder or urethra, but this cystitis is a result of pinched pelvic nerves.
And who told you that? Just remember now, visualize this doctor.
All doctors did.
All doctors? Well then, visualize them and see in your imagination how you give this knowledge back to them. I'm seriously telling you this now. See how you give them this knowledge. Just do it. Now, do it. Okay, well done. And now you ask them, in your imagination, to give you something that is yours. Observe what they're giving to you. What are they giving?
Cystitis.
Well, take it. Take it. It's yours. Take it. It's totally yours. Guys, everything is knowledge. You are afraid of oncology because you have been told to do so. You have not come across it, maybe haven't even had it. Why are you afraid of this? This is some knowledge which you have been given from somewhere.
Because there is no clinical evidence.
This happens because you're constantly tested. When you were in a healing process or in an active phase, the ulceration was in progress, which they did not see. Maybe you're constantly in low intensity active phase, and then you have a symptom during the healing phase.
I've had symptoms for 4 years in a row every day.
Moreover, you are in conflict relapses. Well, if you go and check and you don't have any symptoms, this is the active phase. And they don't see it, this ulceration. They wouldn't get into your bladder in first place. What's the essence of medicine? Now we'll talk about brain cancer and I'll explain why they cannot diagnose it normally. Because they don't dig into the head. They do MRI scanning and you receive a contrast solution and they observe certain parts where it is accumulated. They don't dig into the head. So, cystitis. Why do we need a bladder in nature? For what? Come here, honey. You're sitting there and crying. Why do we need a bladder in nature? What do animals do with urine, guys? Exactly, they mark their territory. Cystitis, this is a territorial conflict. It's a territorial conflict associated with close relatives or friends. That is, when someone intrudes on my territory and that's not an enemy, that's someone from my close people. During an active phase, the body begins to ulcerate a bladder because you're stressed here without realizing it. The bladder begins to ulcerate in order to increase its volume, to excrete more urine, to mark your territory so that a person would get lost, roughly speaking. A girl calls me while I'm on my way to Moscow and says, "Guru, I have cystitis, what's going on?" A metaphorical example comes to my mind and I say, let's say your mother arrived, for instance, and started and she interrupts me, "Stop, my mother arrived." And she begins to tell me how her mother is going through her stuff. A mother visited her daughter and started snooping to find out what she has there and so on. As a result, a daughter feels stressed out, the ulceration begins, mom leaves, or daughter goes to the office, a healing phase, all the symptoms, all the pain, because there is a swelling of ulcerated walls. Urethritis is almost the same, but it happens in the urethra. The urethra expands due to ulceration, and that you can excrete urine more quickly and mark your territory. Because in a woman's case, her territory is here, and for a man, it can be a bunch of things, and he needs to excrete more quickly. The body has a logic and biological meaning of each disease. That's why I say that psychosomatics found on the internet does not give answers. You asking yourself what, and you find some answer. You ask for what, so that your soul, la 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 la. There's no answer why. Why? Because the biology is unknown. We answer all these questions.
And what about thrush?
Thrush is a conflict of unpleasant contact, sexual conflict, either with some partner, or it can also happen that you went to some procedure, the doctor was unpleasant and you thought that medical tools were dirty, and it will also begin. In general, many people are susceptible to this, because we all have sex and we all can experience stress during the intercourse because of the smell of the partner. Some time ago when you were young, for example, either this or that is just not entirely right. The body feels stressed, and then every time sex happens, everything that reminds of that partner starts to activate this. There was a girl here in Bali who had a persistent thrush. We worked with her 1 session, 2 sessions, and it seemed to disappeared, but then recurred again. And she said to me, well, I've noticed that it starts when I drink alcohol, and secondly, when I put on beige underwear. And we began to dig in it and found out that in her childhood, her grandmother had beige panties and she used to wear them as a child and everything was great. But then she saw these panties quite dirty, well, in a certain way. What was instilled in her? She was immediately disgusted, an unpleasant contact conflict, and now it constantly recurs when she wears beige, a track, a reminder. We usually do not colorate, we just put on something and we wear it. We're not taught to pay attention to what is happening around us. Why are you like this? Why are you so messed up? Why have you turned your back on the people? What's the matter with you?
I don't know.
Where are the sensations in the body? Why do you need it?
I just sit and listen to others, and there are so many things I respond to. When this girl, You're the Beauty by the way, was here, I reacted strongly.
Yes, and what if I take this feeling from you for 1 minute? Will you give it to me?
Sure.
Just for 1 minute, just one. Is it still there now, or is it not?
It is.
Well, give it to me for a minute. Just for 1 minute, I'll take it. Give it. Just 1 minute. Give it. Give it. Give it to me. How does it feel there?
A little better.
Give it again. More. More. Yes, and now be quiet. Now be quiet. What thoughts are there? Your thoughts. What had just flashed through your mind? A person. You may not say it aloud, just realize it. See any situation now.
I see myself for some reason.
Where do you see yourself? Where do you see yourself? Well, of course, the symptom is needed. The body rejoices when the symptom is returned. We need all symptoms for protection. Have you already realized it? That's why it's so difficult when I say, I am you, I am acknowledged and coming to you, but the body is scared. Whoever attended my sessions, I often do this. I say, I am you and I am happy and I'm coming to you, and I see that everybody's muscles tense up because it is scary to be happy. Mom and dad taught us so, and so on. Or I was happy and then something happened. Where did you see yourself now? Where were you? Stop. What's that?
At home.
Where is it, this home?
Previous home in Nizhny Novgorod.
And what happened there? Do you hear the voice? Be a little patient, sunshine.
I'm going to fall now.
What happened there? I'll hold you. And you've seen, yes, I sometimes put my hand behind the back. I'm often asked, are you checking for energy or something? You better check out the video where a girl collapsed there, well, nearly collapsed. During a seminar, I managed to catch her. Well, I'm stronger and I begin to push. Be patient. I'm doing this on purpose and you'll start to remember now. I am stronger and I will begin to push. And the body chooses which reaction? The reaction to fear is divided into fight, run away, or play dead. You cannot fight with me, you cannot run away and just bam, passes out. I often do this. Sometimes such an exorcism takes place during my sessions, guys. I was already going to call an ambulance one time. It's very interesting. So, what happened just there? Well, that very thing.
Relationship.
Well, it's clear that it was a relationship.
Well, nothing. Indifference. The man doesn't love.
Yes, and what are you like when a man is indifferent towards you?
Not interesting.
And will you allow yourself to be uninteresting for a minute?
Yes.
Go on. Come on, say it. I'm uninteresting.
I'm uninteresting.
And how old are you now?
29.
Yes, now you are you, and you, listen to the voice, you are 28. Say, I'm uninteresting.
I'm uninteresting.
You are 25. Say it.
I'm uninteresting.
20.
I'm uninteresting.
15.
I'm uninteresting.
16.
I'm uninteresting.
17.
I'm uninteresting.
18.
I'm uninteresting.
Yes, sunshine, what happened there? Quiet. What happened there at the age of 17? When you decided that it is safer to be uninteresting? Just any memory, any picture.
Let's say it this way, I didn't want anyone to know about something.
Is that why you became uninteresting? In order to hide something?
Uninteresting and unnoticeable.
Well, she's deceiving even me now. Yes. Come on, now you are you and you are 15 years old. You are you and you are 7 years old. 5, 1. Say I'm uninteresting.
I'm uninteresting.
Yes, and I, Anton Antonov, appear then and there in front of you, and I inform you, the uninteresting people are the richest and the happiest. Also, if you are uninteresting, that you'll have a lot of kids. Because she's reacting to I'm not interesting, it hits her there. I'm uninteresting for a man and I cannot be with him, accordingly I will not reproduce and so on. And now you are here. Say I'm uninteresting.
I'm uninteresting.
How do you feel?
Well, it's not in the stomach anymore. It somehow went away after this phrase.
Is there anything else that needs to be done? Well, if there is, what is it?
Nothing.
Well, if there is anything else that needs to be done, what's the answer? Yes or no?
Yes.
What is it?
I want to be interesting for myself.
And what happens if you are interesting?
I will feel good.
And what happens if you feel good?
I'll be happy.
What happens if you're happy?
I'll be self-sufficient.
And what happens if you're self-sufficient?
I'll be independent.
And what happens if you're independent?
I'll be free.
And what happens if you're free?
I'll be happy.
And what happens if you're happy?
That's all.
What's all?
I don't know. I'll be happy. I'll be strong. There, I'll be strong.
Yes, and the emotion appears immediately. Strong. Strong, you understand, right? Person has a connection, a link. If I'm happy, then I'm strong. And it is remembered from somewhere. But the body may not actually be strong. It doesn't feel the strength. Will it go into happiness? Well, how can it go there if it cannot handle it? If it's not strong? Now say it. I'm strong.
I'm strong.
Say I'm happy.
I'm happy.
And now say I'm unhappy.
I'm unhappy.
And now say it again. I'm strong.
I'm strong.
I am unhappy.
I'm unhappy.
I am unhappy.
I'm unhappy.
Yes, and now your mother is next to you. Mom is standing next to you. Say, I'm unhappy.
I'm unhappy.
Give this unhappiness to your mother. Just visualize how you give this unhappiness in your imagination. It belongs to her.
I don't want this.
Well, it's quite obvious. Can two unhappy people make each other happy?
No.
Will you give unhappiness to your mother?
Yes.
Well, do it then.
I did.
No, you didn't. Will you give this unhappiness to your mom? Here, I am your mother. Please forgive me that I'm unhappy. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm like this. I haven't chosen this myself. Forgive me for what I'm like this. Forgive everything that I've done the way I've done. I'm sorry that everything turned out this way. I couldn't be different. I'm sorry. I am very sorry. I love you the way I can. Let my love be an experience. I don't know any other way. My parents taught me so. Please forgive me. How does it feel? How does it feel now?
Well, I feel better, as if something is even being taken away.
Of course it is being taken away. The whole life strategy, I am unhappy. It's obvious. Now it will be necessary either to become happy or fall back there again and enjoy being there. Everything is familiar there. Later I'll explain why it is so difficult to admit and get rid of these, as what they're called now, generic programs. Yes, we can call it survival strategy, survival response. So, how does it feel now?
Better.
Is there anything else? Well, you have an appointment with me. Will you come?
Of course.
Yes, come on. Let's applaud her, please. She feels better. What else relates to territorial conflicts? Let's go over it briefly. I'll tell you about metastases, about lung tumor, and there was something else, right? I'll show you an example about money and how it works. For instance, why can't we make money, or why can't we meet a man of some sort? Those of you who have already attended some seminars, they already, what is it? You retreated immediately, bam, and twitched. Come here to me.
No need.
Come on. Well, it's quite obvious, okay? She's walking around with a tortured face saying, choose me, some handsome, good-looking man. Well, look at you. You look great. You look great, don't you?
Yes.
Yes. And why so insecure?
I'm just shy.
It is obvious also. What are you shy about?
The audience?
Yes, and how do you feel it that you're shy?
Well, I blushed.
Yes, turn this way and just feel it in your chest. And now let's ask the body at what age it first appeared. What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Somewhere in the kindergarten.
Yes, and what happened there? Come on, just see the kindergarten. What happened there, kiddo?
Well, I don't remember.
Well, come on, just see the kindergarten. What's there? What do you see?
I don't know. Nothing.
Nothing there? And what do you see from kindergarten?
Well, just some kind of performance.
Yes, and what's going on there? Are you performing?
No, I'm just sitting.
And how do you feel there?
As usual.
As usual, how is it? It feels same as now?
Well, no.
Are you shy there or not? How does it feel now? Is it still in your chest or not? Are you still shy or not?
Shy of what?
Of them.
Yes, I'm shy.
Come on now. You are you, but the day before that performance. Are you shy?
Yes.
You are you, but a month before that performance. Are you shy then?
How should I imagine that?
Are there any sensations right there in your chest or not?
No.
And I, Anton Antonov, appear then and there and I tell you, in a month you'll be at a kindergarten performance and you are allowed to be shy. All the shy people are the happiest, and their men are the most handsome and richest. I'm telling you this a month before the performance, and with this knowledge you find yourself there. Well, look, the eyes opened there right away, look. Now you are now and here, how it is in your chest. That's it, she's no longer shy. Let's applaud her. I'm really telling you, methods of Psy 2.0 school, even though I don't have a relation to school anymore. I have nothing to do with Psy 2.0 school anymore, but these methods are fabulous. I can remove the shyness. This has already been done 100 of times. When someone calls me before some events and says, listen, I'm in trouble, and after a minute a person says, that's it, I'm going, I'm ready, I can do it. Do you understand? All that you're feeling now is also a reaction learned at some point. If you can remember it by yourself, where it happened, whether it was a kindergarten or anywhere else. It's just that the brain is deceiving us. It doesn't like that. Well, of course it's desirable that someone is nearby who can point you to this, whether you're deceiving yourself in what moments or not. Oh, come on. Now we talked about men. What's happening with men in your life?
Nothing, they are absent. More precisely, I choose the wrong ones.
Have a look. I chose the wrong ones. She's like this. I choose, and she's proud of it. And why do you do it? Why do you need it? Come on, stand here. Why do you need it? Why do you need it? Yes, come on, describe her to me in one word.
Lost.
What else is she like? Another word.
Victim?
Victim, yes.
Insecure?
She's like a seeker. Well, I said it before, and when I saw her and she was like, choose me, somebody please choose me. This vibration comes from a person. I am myself and I'm the most wounded. What is she like again? Who said what?
Scared.
Well, it's you sitting there scared. We got it. Well, come on, smile already.
She doesn't believe in herself.
You don't believe in yourself. Relax already. Well, of course, we always describe ourselves. It's understandable. But we're all universal. There are a bunch of things in all of us. And what she just said? She doesn't believe in herself. Well, that's normal. I also sometimes, well, actually quite often, from morning till night, doubt myself. But this is normal. You can't always be confident in yourself. Although I'm always confident nowadays, and I bit my lip and I lied to you again just there, okay? Do you understand? So what? What are you like? Describe yourself. Describe yourself in one word. What are you like?
In one word, insecure, I guess.
Well, insecure. And in what age did it appear?
I don't know.
Yes, and now take a step back. Just step back. What kind of men do you choose?
Womanizers.
Okay, I'm a womanizer. I am a womanizer, and I'm coming to you. Tioma's laughing. I am a womanizer, and I'm coming to you. How do you feel when I'm near you? And she's swallowing. How do you feel? Well, we see that she's not breathing, but she might say everything's fine. Of course, the body is used to living in this state. How do you feel?
I'm not very comfortable.
How do you feel it? Where is it in the body? And what are you like when you meet a womanizer? Let's do it again through acceptance. There are lots of tools, but I use whatever comes to my mind first. Yes, there are a bunch of tools. Will you give it to me for a minute? Will you? Just for a minute. I'll take it, and we'll see how you feel without it. Come on, once again. What is it in your throat?
Well, there is still something.
Well, give me more. I'm taking it for 1 minute. This is yours. You need this for protection, I know. Give me. Just more. Yes, and how does it feel now? And what are you like now when this thing is here but you don't have it? What are you like? A word. That one, come on.
Confident.
Confident. Will you allow yourself to be confident for 1 minute? Well, go on. For 1 minute, yeah. 1 minute. And when you're confident, what are you like? That thing right there. What are you like?
I don't know.
It means you already allowed yourself. I'm putting this here. You'll pick it up when you leave. If anyone else needs it, there's a lot of it, by the way, in case someone needs insecurity. And I'm here, I am again, and I'm a womanizer, and I'm coming to you. How do you feel?
Same.
Same. Okay, well, that's a serious strategy. Some very serious strategy. And who was the most terrible womanizer that you've had? The most. Remember? Did you remember? You already twitched there. Who has flashed through your mind?
Well, perhaps I remembered.
Yes, and what happened with him there? Give me one situation which happened with him.
I saw him with another girl.
Yes, and how did you feel there?
Bad.
Come on, and now you are a minute before you saw him with that girl. Come on, and I, Anton Antonov, appear there and there in front of you, and I'll inform you that you'll see him in a minute with a girl. And with this knowledge, you find yourself in that situation where you see him with that girl, but you knew about that in advance. How do you feel?
Okay.
Okay, you are here. You are here and now. Is it clear? A whole life strategy. Most likely, mother used to meet womanizers, and a grandmother had a few womanizers in her life also. That is, her body survives in automatic conditions in which her relative survived. Why we don't like to be changed so much? Because we have been given automatic factory settings to react to one thing this way, to react to another in a different way. And we are actually completely okay with it. We all say, why do I need a psychologist? I seem to be fine, although we have all of this inside. But since we have factory settings, we don't know anything else. Therefore, the body doesn't want to change. It loves everything that is the least energy consuming. This is exactly as evolution has intended. All that consumes the least energy is being eliminated. Accordingly, why should I change if Armageddon has not begun yet? Therefore, the majority lives on these automatic settings inherited from parents. It is really instilled in you. I am a womanizer. I'm coming to you. How do you feel? How does it feel now? Well, that's all. That's it. Applaud her. What kind of man will you meet in the future? What comes to your mind first? Well, they're scary, yes, I completely understand. These men who are good men, they are scary. It's understandable. Come on, describe any of them. You knew only womanizers before. Whom will you meet now? Everything disappeared. Okay then, go and have some rest for a while. You can message me on Instagram later, just in case. I'll send you a video. This one, which is about the subject. Let's applaud this girl again. That is, the body experienced uncomfortable states, but it has survived as a result. If an animal, a dog, experiences stress but survives, then this strategy is suitable for survival of species. What will happen then? The strategy is being passed on. And now she, a poor thing, doesn't understand why she meets only womanizers. It seems like she is choosing, but it turns out to be a womanizer. Ah, it's a miss again. She didn't miss it, she is looking for them with this feeling. We all meet as a result of our inner feelings, guys. Only then the thinking process begins. Well, he's handsome, and here's this and here's that, but you were caught by a feeling. Why do we like some people and dislike others? It seems to us that the reason is their appearance, but as soon as you remove these strategies from yourself, your level of, let's put it this way, the search zone is expanded. You begin to feel others as well. You're no longer focused on a single feeling which you used to search with. Do you get it? You just start to realize and ask yourself what kind of people I like. What kind of people I fall for? Well, let's put it that way. Describe them in one word. Then say this word and observe what you feel in your body afterwards. You'll find a strategy. I realize strategy begins to reduce the intensity. So as soon as you become aware of what's happening... Earlier, downstairs, I was asked a question. Anton, suppose we change the reaction. Well, damn it, what if it doesn't go away? Well, of course you need to retrain yourself. You just need to catch yourself in the moments where you experience the same emotion. When do I feel that I'm not pretty? When do I feel that I'm not pretty again? I know that this is difficult, but I'm laying this foundation in you, which is not done by anyone yet. There are gurus who understand all of this, but they sit in silence. I listened to one of them yesterday. He lives there and he says, I want to bring knowledge to this world, but I won't tell anyone. You can't take videos or photos, everything is forbidden. What do you bring to this world then, damn it? I feel like cursing him, I really shouldn't be doing this. It simply means, that's my symptom. We discussed the ectoderm briefly, right? I simply won't tell you about all organs and how they react, but you already know that there are territorial conflicts as well. I talked about the bronchi and the cystitis, about the main ones.
Does herpes belong there?
Well, it's the unpleasant contact conflict. Look at the localization. It's either sexual or here on the lips. Either kissed someone or touched someone or did some other thing with someone. But I'll say that herpes is a very complicated thing. I was working through it with one person for 3 sessions and I was sweating literally, but I resolved it.
What about prostatitis? Is it the same?
Prostatitis? No. Prostatitis is related to the first tissue, morsel conflict. I don't feel like a man, I'm not man enough. What does a male need prostate for in nature? Well, everything is clear to find a female. There is a gland in the prostate, fluid is secreted and I smell attractive and females themselves begin to reach out to me. Accordingly, if there is not enough of them, I cannot find any female. What will body do as a result? Alright, here's a bigger prostate for you, secret more fluid, find yourself a female. It just worked this way in nature. It doesn't work now. What starts to happen? It's just one of my past conflicts. The fact that I open Instagram and social networks and I see these guys in their cars, my peers, but they all have this money and I don't have it. They have all the money and all the girls. And accordingly, one of the girls who I had a crush on was stolen away by one of these guys. And I was terribly stressed about this, and this is how it all began. And since the age of 15, I had been living with constant prostatitis, and when I visited a urologist, he said, your prostate is like that of a man of 60 years old. Well, how so? Well, he said, probably you often sit outside in the cold a lot. And I agreed, well, probably. Treatment helped for 6 months, or maybe for a year, and then again everything used to come back, and all the symptoms, and that's it.
What about hemorrhoids?
Well, hemorrhoids, there are 2 reasons. The first reason, this is a territorial conflict to mark the territory. The second one, and this refers to self-identification, I don't understand who I am and what I am. Any more questions?
What about varicosis?
Varicosis refers to self-devaluation. Who asked that?
Me.
I put on all the heavy burden. This is on my legs, I carry the burden. I put all the heavy burden and I cannot handle it.
On the contrary, I consider myself irresponsible.
Okay, well come here then. Shall we try to crack this nut? Or maybe it won't work. There can be one case in 1,000 that not only you're not able to open up a person, but you shouldn't even try.
Now I've become tense.
Yes, but you are happy. Look, phew, thanks God, we're not going to dig this anymore.
No, I like to dig.
Oh, you do? Well, come on, where do you have varicosis? Show me. Yes, now feel it. Just feel it. I'll hold your varicose veins for a little while. Will you let me? Just feel how I'm holding your varicose veins. Do you feel anything when I squeeze and withdraw my hand? Is there anything there?
Some kind of tension.
Tension. And what kind of thoughts are coming to your mind along with this? And what kind of situation or maybe what kind of people pop up? I'll even twist your varicose a little bit. Look, her cheekbone muscles twitched, and she's really feeling it. Now, I'm not a magician, all of you can do this. This is a biological function. The instrument is taken from the hypnosis, from the Bekhterev Institute. There is no magic there at all. Everything I do, you can do it also. You just need to learn a little, just a little. Yes, that thing, that's the one. What was that?
As if I don't understand anything. I don't understand. Something like that.
Yes, and at what age that confusion appears? What comes to your mind first?
15.
Yes, and what happened there? Come on, yes, what was there?
Rape.
Rape. And you didn't understand what was going on? Couldn't you escape? And why legs? Come on, let's do this together. I'm very sorry. Come on. What were you like there? Describe in one word.
Innocent.
Yes. Now allow yourself to be innocent there for 1 minute. Now you are you and you are 14 years old, 10 years old, 5 years old, 3 years old. 1. Well, find that someone had already been raped before, grandma or mother or maybe an auntie. It doesn't happen out of nowhere. This is also strategy to find a rapist. As strange as it may sound, but this is how biology works. Someone had survived, as a result of that, information is transmitted. One will find one's own rapist to evolve and grow. Come on, now you are you in your mom's belly and you are 5 months old. You are in your mom's belly and you're 1 month old. You are in your mom's belly and you're 1 day old. You were just conceived. Here I am, I'm the rape. How do you feel?
I don't know what you are.
Yes, I'm not the rape anymore. I am Anton Antonov and I appear there and then and I inform you, you will be raped. This will bring money and happiness in the future. I'm telling you all about it. Yes, I'll be with you in that situation. We'll be raped there together. I'm telling you about this when you are 1 day old in your mom's belly. And you and I found ourselves in that situation. How are you? Well, look, she's smiling. Yes. Now, you are you now and here. Of course, there are so many other details that need to be resolved. Come on, varicosis. I'm holding your varicoses and pulling. There is something there, isn't it? What? Is there another situation? Was it only this one or something else comes to mind?
That I'm not ready for motherhood.
Not ready for motherhood. The left leg?
Left leg.
A mother and a child. All mother-child conflicts. Well, in this case, I'm not ready to become a mother and I don't want to. Self-devaluation. That is, the body already wants it, but the psyche doesn't. For some reason. Because of some thought patterns. It will be hard, there won't be enough money, I won't be able to self-actualize. As a result, there is a conflict between the psyche and the body. What else?
That I'm not good enough.
Well, we all see that you're not good enough, and what's the conflict here? When you're not good enough, what are you like?
I can move to somewhere.
And what are you like when you have somewhere to move to?
I'm a seeker.
And when you are a seeker, what are you like?
Alive.
And when you are alive, what are you like?
I can feel myself then.
Yes, and when you can feel yourself, what are you like? What's the next layer? Yes, that one, come on.
One word? I don't know how to describe it in the one word. One with everything?
Alive on Earth, the universe hears me. Alright. Now let's do it this way. You are here and now. What does varicosis protect you from? What word or several words comes to your mind?
From activeness.
From activeness. What happens if you're active?
It will hurt even more.
And what happens if you're active? What's so dangerous about being active?
I will make mistakes.
Yes, and what happens if you make mistakes?
I will be a fool.
What happens if you're a fool? Well, this is obvious. It comes from childhood. Someone forbade making mistakes. They simply forbade making mistakes, and that's all. Always be perfect, always be nice, don't mess things up, and so on. What happens if you make mistakes?
I don't know, I'm scared.
Yes, and what is scary?
What if it works out?
And what happens if it works out? Come on, like this.
I'll get a buzz.
Yes, and do you need varicoses then if you get a buzz?
No, I don't need it.
So, come on, I'll touch it again. I'll take your varicoses, raise it up. How is it now? Well, there is still something. It's just a little... Tell me now or you'll go back to your seat.
Something relating to relationship.
Yes, and what are you like when you are in a relationship?
I am dependent.
Will you allow yourself to be dependent for a minute? Just one. Come on, just 1 minute, okay? Then you can forbid yourself again. But for 1 minute, come on, allow yourself. Say to me, I am dependent.
I am dependent.
All right, and when you are dependent, what are you like?
Weak.
Will you allow yourself to be weak for 1 minute? Yes, just be patient. Be patient, okay? When you're weak, what are you like?
Vulnerable.
And when you're vulnerable, what are you like?
Defenseless.
Yes, say I am defenseless.
I am defenseless.
Yes, and how old are you now?
38.
Come on. And by the way, you look like a 32-year-old. You are you and you're 30 years old. Say, I am defenseless.
I am defenseless.
And now you are you and you're 5 years old. Say, I am defenseless.
I am defenseless.
You are you and you're 1 year old. Say, I am defenseless. There is something there.
I am defenseless.
You are defenseless here or not? How does it feel? Yes or no?
Rather yes.
Come on. Now you are you and you're 2 weeks old. Say, I am defenseless.
I am defenseless.
Now you are your mother and your child is 1 day old. Your baby has just been born. Say, I am defenseless.
I am defenseless.
Okay, just be patient, okay? Just be patient. Now you are you in your mom's belly and you're 1 month old. Say, I am defenseless.
I am defenseless.
And now in your imagination, just visualize how you're swimming there in your mom's belly and defenselessness is floating nearby. What is it like? The defenselessness, what does it look like?
Some kind of red mass.
Yes, and now in your imagination, just visualize how you push this red mass out of there. Will you?
Yes.
Come on, now see how you push it out. What, you feel sorry for it? What then? Well, push it out. Push it out. I'm there with you, holding your hand, and I'm scared to... See, now come on, push this thing out. Of course, it protects her from something, yeah. I'm trying to remove it now, but it protects her from something. We don't know in what kind of conditions she lives. This is your method of adaptation to the conditions she lives in. All your diseases, they are methods of adaptation. We cannot take away from a person what protects them, but we can show him that there is another state as well. Of course, it will come back. But the body will see it is also possible to live in a different way, besides these automatic factory settings. How is it in the body now?
Better.
Yes, and now you're here and now. You are here and now. Yes, now let me hold your varicoses. I'm pulling your varicose veins. How is it? How does it feel?
Well, it's better.
Yes, and I often pay attention. Now, if a mouth opens while I'm pulling, a mouth opens, that means a person is relaxed. If the mouth is closed, that is tension. Well, you can observe everything. Breathing, body language, eyes. Your body speaks about everything, and I'm reading everything. Excuse me. They often ask me, damn, do you read me in everyday life too? Yes, and I do. I'm sorry. How do you feel there, sunshine? Well, there, your varicoses just flew out to the river. Come on, let me hug you. You're shaking, you are recovering. Guys, she's got the buzz today most of all, and I'm seriously telling you. Earlier downstairs, somebody has asked me about cancer treatment with the help of baking soda. There is one Italian guy, he discovered that soda helps. Wait here, yes, will now work with your symptoms. Everyone keep staring at her intently. Look, I'll draw this diagram again. Baking soda is helpful in case of the first two tissues because in short, in the first two tissues, tumor grows in an active phase, and in case of the other two tissues, on the contrary, the ulceration occurs. And baking soda is helpful when there is a healing phase of the first two tissues. That is, it accelerates the healing phase. And that's why, for some people it works, for those who are already in the healing phase. But baking soda destroys all the beneficial microorganisms which are needed to remove the tumor in the other two tissues. And sometimes we work with a person and I remove all the conflicts, but the tumor would not disappear, and I don't understand why. And I start asking him and he says, damn, I used to treat myself with baking soda. But how can a body remove the tumor if there are no necessary microorganisms for that? How will it manage that? Of course, there is absolutely no way, and the tumor is simply encapsulated. Why so many people live with encapsulated tumors? Because for a long time, with the help of antibiotics, chemicals and so on, including soda, they had been, what word to choose? In short, treated themselves, healed. Why antibiotics? Why do they say that all diseases mutate? Because when you take antibiotics, you kill those substances that are needed for the healing phase and the body will produce something else. But if you used to take antibiotics on a regular basis, then you have destroyed everything and the body has nothing to work with. And of course you get stuck. Therefore, psychosomatics is great, but there is also pharma. The one with which we need to unite and work together, or smash it. Anya gestured at me back there with the finger gun. Yes, of course, my specialization is clinical psychology. We collaborate with medicine, indeed. In case of oncology, you need to collaborate with medicine because, a patient is more relaxed and comfortable, but you still need to explain to a person who says, I don't need psychosomatics, ask him or tell him to talk to doctors first. How will he smell after that? How will he feel? How will the body live without a part or the organ that will be removed? How will he function? What drugs will he have to take for the rest of his life?
The simplest example, a friend of mine had both carotid arteries clogged very heavily. He was told to have an operation on both of them. There are more than 70%. Then one specialist in the field of psychosomatics said, I can help you remove it gradually. But then the doctors told him, all right, this thing will come off, your heart can fail.
Well, they scared him. So, remove the fear in the first place. Send him to a psychologist, not even a psychosomatic therapist. Take this fear away so that the body decides can it do it or not. The answers are all there. Do you know that there are benefits of being intimidated? Why does ideology intimidate us? Why are the news broadcasted in a proportion of 1 to 5? Why do they broadcast 5 bad news to 1 good one? Because you don't hear yourself. And when you don't hear yourself, you become part of the congregation. When I'm an individual, what do individuals start doing? They begin to follow their own personal path, develop in their own way. But it's easier to run a common company, and it needs to be intimidated in order to accomplish that. For this, it perceives the ideas. This is neither good or bad, we need leaders, guys. We can't do otherwise, and I'm sorry, we cannot live without a leader until I become a leader myself. That's just the way it is. We are intimidated by the capitalism so that we often go to the drugstore. Nobody thinks about evolution there. If we look from the perspective of the planet because it keeps this all, then it is necessary, it is clear. But for me, this is too much. For me, it's too much when a person knows this information and does not transmit it to people. He knows it all but remains silent. He sits up there somewhere and revokes licenses from people who spread it. Why? Why is he doing this? Is it evolution that drives him to do this, or greed? Well, naturally, guys, if we launch this system, the selection will still work, and people will suffer during a healing phase as they do now. But at least they'll know what it is and why it is happening. When you are afraid that you don't know, the fear kills you even faster. How are you? Now, what are you like and how are you?
I have a problem here.
What kind of problem?
I have a very rare disease that is considered incurable.
I also have psoriasis and that's incurable. In fact, throughout all my life they used to tell me that everything will only get worse over time and it will be transferred to joints and psoriatic arthritis will begin. Don't take anything, no pills, nothing. Guys, I can show you the photos what I was like and I was told that there's no way out, you'll die. So what kind of disease do you have?
I have these white spots, very specific.
Okay.
No, that's not it.
That's not it. Yes, you are unique. She's unique, don't you all agree? I think so too.
And unfortunately, the doctors told me that this is incurable.
Well, give this knowledge back to them. Right now, see that. Give it back to them.
Is it a vitiligo or what?
No, not vitiligo.
Yes, and the interesting thing is that it is treated in the same way as it appears. No one knows where from, why and how, but it scared me and I launched the thinking process that I would have more of them, and there are more of them.
Well, of course. Moreover, they'll appear in those places which she fears the most. They will be multiplied